Oh
The
yeah,
fuck?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh yes.
Where do we
We got a
begin?
question already. We got a question about
Oh,
it. Justin is
this
asking
question.
your reaction if either Mothra or Rodan will return in Godzilla versus Kong. Will they return?
So, I mean, okay, so I kind of think to an extent Mothra can because I'm pretty sure the credit sequence for King of the Monsters, another egg, Mothra egg was found. But like
I can't remember.
that kind of leads into like some things we'll probably talk into later about the movie as a whole. And I feel like Rodan should probably be there. I don't think
Why
Rodan would
wouldn't
just
they be
disappear all
there?
of a sudden. Yeah,
Yeah, if
like
they're
he
not
wouldn't just
there, I would
disappear.
have a problem.
Yeah, like Rodan went back to sleep.
Oh, okay, fine. There's no
Rodan
reason why
Rodan's
he
on
shouldn't be there.
Rodan appears on screen and then he looks directly to the viewers. I have to go. My people need me. And then he flies off fucking screen and dies on orbit, like Poochie from The Simpsons.
Oh, I thought you were making an Avengers Endgame reference with Captain Marvel,
Oh no, no,
how
no.
she just disappears.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, she did do that at the beginning of the movie.
Just because, not Endgame. I don't think that's Endgame. She disappears at the beginning of Infinity Wars. I'm excited. I'm glad it's coming to HBO Max.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like because Godzilla vs Kong, like I hate seeing like I see a lot of people like both personally and like online too, like because of the way this movie has gone, like wanting it to fail. And I'm just like, I don't look, man. I'm definitely questioning some things about the production of this movie, but like I don't want it to
Yeah,
fail.
I
I mean,
do.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I
Like,
think the big podcast I did talking about Godzilla vs Kong recently,
mhm.
I think it sums up my opinion in a nutshell. So why would I want this movie to fail? I don't want it to fail. But I
No.
have now wrapped my head around the fact that this is going to be Hollywood trash and it's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
very middle of the road. And now that I've wrapped my head around that, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to watch it. And for all those people who are constantly bitching about the movie, look, if it sucks, it sucks. But we're still getting a Godzilla movie, a big
Yeah,
budget
and
Godzilla
like
movie. And if it fails, we're still going to be getting Godzilla movies from Toho because now that contract with
yeah,
them is going to be lifted.
it's a to me it always confuses me that people like think if for some reason the MonsterVerse fails, which I'm not gonna lie, it's probably going
Oh,
to, because like
it
I don't
probably
think
it
it.
probably is going to, and quite frankly, I think it deserves it at this point because of how mismanaged it's
Yeah,
been.
yeah, like it's going to happen probably. At the same time, it's like these characters aren't just gonna die because of it. Especially Godzilla, where his native origin is not America, it's Japan. Like it's not. We're not gonna lose this character. We have a new anime coming too, and it's like,
I know
which
exactly. We have a new anime coming, which
which
I'm
looks
really
fucking
looking
dope.
forward to. Which, by the
There's not
way,
much out for it, but like it looks fucking dope.
did you see the leaked
The-
Godzilla design? The face.
I like it.
We'll get to
I
that a
like
little
it.
later. I'm digging it.
Yeah,
Though it's
I
funny,
like
they're
it.
doing the Godzilla versus Megalon eyes, which I will show you
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean by that. But
yeah,
anyways, Lucas, continue talking about Godzilla versus.
yeah. So like, I want to talk about MonsterVerse for a little bit too, because like King of the Monsters, like I am so sick of discourse over that goddamn movie.
Oh,
I'm over it
yeah, me too.
because like I didn't I King of the Monsters, and I'm gonna just be blanket statement. I'm gonna, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna blanket statement the whole every MonsterVerse movie right now. Godzilla 2014, visually and like scale wise is fucking cool, but the actual story of the movie is nonsense for the most part. Especially after like we lose Bryan Cranston as a character. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the cast. But Kong Skull Island is fun. I don't think it's a fantastic movie, but it's fun, and I had a good time watching it. King of the Monsters, in the same vein of Kong Skull Island, is where it was. I enjoyed that way more as a
I
movie,
didn't.
but I also think it has some pretty damn huge flaws that's solely due to being a victim of like Hollywood big budget movie having to
Yep.
hit all of like the check marks of quirky character, humor, stuff like that that really held it back.
Especially when you have a
And
director like Michael Daughtry, who made
yeah,
Krampus.
yeah, it's
And Adam
and the thing is
Wingard,
like I
who's directing Godzilla
yeah,
vs Kong, he's got an interesting vision too, and it's just going to get crushed because it's a big budget movie. There's no
yeah,
directorial stamp on any of these large budget movies anymore, and I'm not expecting one. They all look like, quite frankly,
yeah,
that they're all the Marvel movies, with the exception of Guardians of the Galaxy movies. But like all the Marvel movies, all the DC movies, these big budget movies, to me they all look the same.
Well,
Visually.
Yeah, it's because it's the current state of movies. That's just like that's the honest truth. That's how I've always felt. It's just the current like standard right
I
now.
hate it.
And the thing is, like, it sucks. It sucks to have that in like something like Godzilla, but I also do. With that being said, I still think King of the Monsters did some really cool things visually. Did some really good, like the score is fantastic. I loved the score to
It
that
was
movie.
okay.
That I really liked it. And there's another thing with Godzilla versus Kong that everyone always argues about. That is like, oh, who's gonna win? And I'm like, well, first off, if we're really gonna power scale right here and actually be like, who do I scientifically think is going to win? Well, first off, I don't think there's gonna be a winner. I'm more than confident in saying it's gonna be like a neutral party kind of thing, where they both need to
Yes.
coexist.
It's going to be, here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Here is what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm calling it now. What's going to happen is a third-party monster is going to show up that is so horrible, Godzilla and Kong have to team up to kick his ass. And that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Batman v Superman.
Yeah. When I expect, well, probably
better.
I'll give it at this. It'll probably be.
It'll
probably be
story-wise and everything. It'll be better than Batman v Superman. But I'm talking about how they have to team up to fight a greater foe.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's because exactly the thing is, I've mentally prepared myself for that ever since this movie was announced. I just didn't think they would do that.
Me too. If they went Godzilla versus Kong, literally Godzilla versus Kong, and there's like a battle between, and there's a winner, I would have, regardless of who won, I think I would have been on board with it more, because I would have been like, at least they're taking chances.
See, the thing about that is, I would normally agree with you on that until King of the Monsters came out and absolutely made Godzilla so fucking strong.
Oh,
he
yes.
is fucking strong in this universe.
Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I will say this too, should have been the finale.
Yeah,
I think it was put at the wrong spot.
I thought that was my one concern with that movie from like the initial like trailer of it. Like the scale of that movie is huge. It's huge. And like going from that to this is going to be really jarring unless like
I did a podcast about this.
The thing is like that's what I'm scared of is that they'll make what happened?
I did a podcast about this as well. Okay. Where I said, how is Godzilla versus Kong? I think this is actually what it's called. I think it's called How Will Godzilla versus Kong Top King of the Monsters? And I said it won't. And I said I would really love it if they did a Breaking Bad, because season 4 should have been the finale of, by all means, could have been the finale for Breaking Bad, and it would have worked great. Yeah. I would have been happy.
Yeah.
But they made a season 5, and I was worried about that, but season 5 became my favorite season. And the biggest reason why is because they totally scaled down the story and made it very introspective, season 5. As it should have been in hindsight. You know, it should have been that way. If suddenly they totally toned down the scale of Godzilla vs. Kong and made it a very personal story of Kong, his arc, because he has a bit of an arc kind of going on right now.
Yeah.
And Godzilla
definitely
has a bit of an arc going on right now, and totally made it focused about them as characters, which is possible. War of the Gargantuas, that's a big thing in that.
Yeah. No, that can totally happen. The thing is, I just don't see that happening because of the way Hollywood movies are.
And you're absolutely right. However, I did learn that Godzilla vs. Kong apparently had the smallest budget out of all of the MonsterVerse movies so far, including Kong Skull Island.
That's interesting to me, considering I was going to mention this now. How like I mean, I know because that's just they want to push their movie for theaters, but like they've been really promoting this movie like as like, oh, this is going to be the showdown of the century. And I know there's like a monetary thing to that, but it's like, if that's a smaller budget and they're like really talking like that, maybe there is something there. And I want to, again, I'm still gonna go see it. It's like I'm excited
absolutely.
for it still. Yeah, because I also like I wanted to mention this to you too because it's partially because I genuinely don't remember. Wasn't the movie like finished and they had test screenings and then they completely went back and reshot a ton of the movie or something?
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
What has happened.
And to me that is big red flag.
That is
big
red flag. Because to be clear, reshoots are quite common. Peter Jackson did it all the time. If
Yeah.
you watch the extended version of King Kong, they had alternate scenes and they edited
Yeah, no,
together, and they said, you know
reshoots.
what? Let's change that. Let's
Yeah,
change that. We'll
yeah,
reshoot that. That's quite common. In fact, I
yeah.
encourage that.
Reshoots happen. Reshoots
Yeah,
happen.
I encourage that. We
But
had
it's
that
when
with
the
our
reshoots are
film,
based.
Lucas. We had that with Sierra.
Yeah,
We had
yeah,
to reshoot a couple of
yeah.
things.
Reshoots
Hmm.
happen. The problem is the reason why apparently these reshoots were based on initial reactions to the
To
movie.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, right? And that's when I went.
Oh, I'm talking GVK.
Well, the reactions to Godzilla, King of the Monsters made them go back and do reshoots for Godzilla versus Kong.
Well, I was talking that there were early. What I mentioned. That's why I brought it up was there were early screenings of Godzilla versus Kong to like private
I don't know
people,
about that.
and they saw it. Yeah, because I feel like I remember reading about. Maybe I am getting things confused, but the point being is, if reshoots are dictated based on a response to something like that, that to me is never a good sign. That's usually kind of a bad
No,
sign.
that is never a good sign. Look
Yeah,
at Solo for Disney.
yeah. Look at Rise of
Yes.
Skywalker. Look at that
Oh,
movie.
that
That
was. Oh
that
man.
movie question
I do
mark.
not think it's going to be that bad. There's not enough
I
cooks
don't
in
know.
that
No, no,
pot
no,
for Godzilla versus
no.
Kong for it to be that crazy.
No, 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 absolutely. I don't think it'll be that scale of bad.
Um,
But like, I don't. Again, I really don't. I'm being positive. I don't want to think it's going to be a bad movie. I
I
don't
think it's
want
going
to
to be a
think
bad
that.
movie.
I will find. I will find out when I watch the movie, as I would with any other movie. The thing is, with like something like Rise of Skywalker is so kind of blatant from the start, and that's a whole can of worms. I don't want
I
to
don't
go
think it's
into.
that bad though, Lucas. I really don't. I
No,
don't think the
no,
situation, and I'll tell you why the reason I don't think the reason is that bad, and that's because I just don't
yeah,
think they care enough.
yeah. I
They
kind of
they,
agree
they
with you.
care.
I
Don't
agree
get me
with
wrong, because they are shuffling like at least
you.
185 million bucks into that movie, and that's a good chunk of change.
Yeah,
However, I don't think they care enough about the movie to really be like, no, you have to change this, you have to change this, you have to keep changing this, you have to make sure this plot line's in there,
yeah, yeah,
and that's good. That's a good thing.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I also might have phrased some things wrong incorrectly there, so my mistake.
14. I really like Godzilla 2014. It's got
Yeah,
significant
yeah,
problems with it. Again,
yeah,
I completely agree with you. Story wise, after um, Cranston
Cranston.
dies, the movie loses focus,
Yeah,
and it's not as interesting. However,
yeah,
I love the scale of that movie. I love
yeah.
how
I think
surprisingly small scale that movie is.
yeah,
And it had to
yeah.
be.
And the thing's
It
like,
had to be because they were
yeah,
taking a chance with that movie. And the thing with Godzilla 2014 is it was a surprise hit. No one thought that
yeah,
movie was, they thought it
yep,
was going to be another Pacific Rim, and it wound up making a lot of money against Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah. And like too, it was also like with Godzilla vs 2014 as well, is that like we hadn't had an American Godzilla movie since Godzilla 1998, so like there was that skepticism with that
Yes,
too, and
yes.
it's like,
And
yeah,
then also I've got to say this after rewatching Kong Skull Island, which I can now say I like the movie.
oh
Yeah,
really?
I
Really?
mean, I don't know. I was in a really dark place when I did my 3 hour rant
Mm,
about that movie.
yeah,
There's still a lot of stuff that I'm like, yes, I have
yeah,
that big problem with it. However,
yeah,
I can say
yeah,
it's all right. You know, I liked it. I enjoyed
yeah,
watching it, and that movie
yeah,
made a lot of money.
yeah. People like that one too.
Um, I also want to state that every movie released around the time of Godzilla King of the Monsters underperformed, and that included the Elton John biopic. That underperformed as well.
Yeah, yeah. But that was also because that was off the heels of Endgame. Like that was the
I
same
think
year.
everyone was big budget movie. They were worn out.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah, yeah.
you're not going to understand this reference, I don't think, Lucas, but in the
Let's see.
1960s, when Cleopatra got released with Elizabeth Taylor, that movie was a
Hmm.
huge fucking hit, but it cost so much money it didn't
Yeah,
make money back. So it's listed as a bomb,
yeah,
even though it was the biggest hit
yeah.
that year.
I know that. I know
But
that.
that movie tired people out from epics. And you literally see the shift in movies. After
Yeah,
1963, when that movie was released, big budget epics started going down they stopped being made. And the nail
yeah,
in the coffin, I mean, some were made, of course, but the classic big ones, the nail in the coffin was a movie called The Fall of the Roman Empire. Ironically, The Fall of the Epic. which is a good movie, by the way. I really like The Fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
But that movie cost, at the time, like $15 million to make, which back then was a huge sum of money. Nothing
Yeah.
compared to Cleopatra, but still a huge sum of money. Only made $4 million back. And that signaled to Hollywood that these epics were done.
Yeah.
And I think, not as extreme of a case here, but I think Avengers Endgame, it just tired a lot of people out. I think that big movie fatigue actually set in. At least
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah,
At
I
least
think-
for a while.
Because like that was a conclusion to like multiple years. That was multiple
Yes.
years making.
It was
too,
like
and it's like
it was like the greatest orgasm ever, and then all of a sudden after that she's trying to ride your dick again, and you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. That's what's going on here, and that's what
it was also like
that's
yeah.
what Godzilla versus
told-
King of the Monsters was. It was the chick going back for seconds, and you just weren't charged up yet. You know. Personally, I think what's happening with Godzilla vs. Kong are the head honchos at whatever these companies are, be it Legendary Pictures or Warner Brothers. Most likely Warner Brothers just have no faith in the movie. And I don't blame them because of Godzilla King of the Monsters. I would look at the numbers too and be like, oh, shit, we got to swallow that. And I think that's what's happening. And a lot of these people who are complaining about not getting a trailer yet need to shut the fuck up. Because,
All right, I'll be quiet.
excuse me, and I'll tell you why I think you need to shut the fuck up, Lucas. Because now I'm talking directly to you.
Hello. Oh, it's me.
We didn't get a trailer for Godzilla 2014 forever until about 3 months
You're right.
out before it came out.
Remember when the first trailer for that movie was teased at Comic-Con and all we had was that one
Screenshot. And I will say this, when that first big trailer actually hit theaters, it created urgency because it was coming out soon. I think that's kind of what we're going to have with this.
My only retort to that is that Godzilla 2014 was like we hadn't seen
You're right.
that character in a long time. A long time. And with Godzilla vs. Kong, we've now seen that character multiple times, and we've seen Kong recently too. And the whole thing is like I mentioned before, is that the movie, for the most part, is basically done, and it's had multiple delays since that point. It just, to me, doesn't make sense to not have a trailer, and the fact that there isn't a trailer doesn't give me, at this point in time, just did not help give a little faith. You know what I mean?
Valid. You know, I'm not even going to fight you on that. You're absolutely valid in thinking that. And a part of me agrees with you. Truly.
Yeah.
A part of me agrees with you. I just think I
want to just really quick throw in my rationale, and I don't think I need to explain this. My rationale for not having a trailer is not like an entitled fan mentality. I want that fully out in the open. No.
Yeah. The fans' reactions to there not being a trailer out for this, the fans are driving me absolutely apeshit insane.
Yeah, well, I just
They're
like
so dumb.
I don't like to call myself a fan of anything. I just like to casually talk about things I enjoy. Like, yes, technically you could say, "Oh, but Lucas, you're a fan of that." Technically, I don't care about the vast majority opinion of it.
No, me neither.
If there's a factor of something I like about it, I'll talk about it and praise it.
If I like something, I'll talk about it and praise it. If I don't like it,
but if there's something I don't like, I will fully defend myself on it. And once again, not to go back to this again, and it's why like when the new Pokemon came out, I was at like my wit's end because so many people were defending such an unpolished video game, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore, dude. Like, I can't.
That's my problem with Star Wars.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like the Godzilla fan base, the Star Wars fan base, I just don't understand.
Yeah. Fan bases are just so alien to me. I just don't want to be. It's like, do whatever you want, man.
Yeah.
So,
I will say something positive though. The fact that Netflix was willing to dump $200 million into the movie.
Good sign.
That is
a good sign. I agree with that. Yeah.
That was did you see my post about that? Or
yeah, I remember you mentioned that. I was going to mention
that is a good sign. That means that they have enough faith in the movie that they really wanted it.